Wow. Versions, ouch. Hey, how's it going everyone? This is DCSG81 and today I would like to do a review for this latest Marvel Legends, the Retro Marvel Lizard. Yes, this is one of my most anticipated Spider-Man villains because my Sinister 6 is kind of missing him, as well as Scorpion and also Kraven. Okay, so just 3 of them and I think I'm quite complete over there. So let's take a look at the box, and it's kind of funny to have the plastics over again because I kind of get used to the paper box that I reviewed for the 3 Spider-Man in the recent days, and here we are back again with this beautiful plastic Windows box, which is very nice by the way because you get to see what you are getting. So let's take an up close look of the figure. Wow, this is looking very amazing, and I kind of mentioned that I love these test tubes. You can even see there are some liquids inside, which is fake by the way. Okay, and at the back of the box we can see a very good Marvel Lizard and how to put on some of the accessory, and there are also some story for him. So if you would like to read it, you can pause your screen right now, and let's get him out of the box. And I believe some of you guys actually wanted to know how to open this retro box without damaging it, and I actually posted a short I think few months back on how you can do it, but I didn't really show how to do it. So right now I'm going to show you guys how to really cut it open. Now this is Lizard right out of the box, and the very first moment that I hold on to him, wow, I just couldn't believe that I'm saying this. I kind of like this rubbery lab suit because it does feels very good. It's not those very thick, very heavy kind. It's very thin as you can see, and it's very flexible. I believe it wouldn't hinder any of the articulations. Very well done. I mean, of course it will be best if they can give a cloth one, but I wouldn't mind this at all. It just feels very good, and for those of you who actually wanted to take it off, I believe you can, but you wouldn't be able to do a custom cloth for him because his arm will be all in white unless your custom cloth will be covering the entire arm until his hands here, so you wouldn't see this part. Yeah, then I think you will be doing fine. Yeah, other than that, I don't mind to have this on. What I would like to say is it feels great, it looks great, and yeah, I think they are actually improving, even though they are still using the rubbery material, but it's very good, very thin, very nice. The inner shirt does looks pretty plain, just like a plain black, and even the pants is just plain purple. There's no shading or whatsoever if I'm not wrong, and I kind of like this portion here. It kind of feels like the Hulk pants, yeah, with the green on it as well. Okay, even the shirt, he does have the thorns parts. Very nice. Yes, this is good. And let's take a look at his skin. Wow, there are textures, and there are even some black shadings on it if you take a look at it. Yeah, very nice ones. And even the feet just have a little bit of darker shadings. Yeah, this is really nice because of his leg is kind of white, so it's very easy for him to just stand on his own. This is a good thing as well. I kind of hopes that there are more thorns parts, something like a Hulk pants all over. And this is something that I would like to talk about, the head. Okay, yeah, this head is somehow it just looks like he's shocked or he's surprised, which is a good thing for pictures because you can use it on a lot of fun pictures. But worry not, it just comes with an alternate heads that you can change into if you don't like this look of it. And at the back, yeah, just plain. Of course, it just comes with a tail, which I have yet to put on too. Yeah, maybe I'll just put it on now. And before I put it on, another surprise for me because this one is not plastic. As you can see, there are no joints and it's rubbery. Wow, so they actually put a bendy wire inside, as you can see. This is absolutely great. My goodness, they even have holes, maybe just for the sake of the rubber to breathe or something. Yeah, but this is really awesome. Wow. And yes, this is indeed beautiful. Oh my goodness, just take a look at that. I didn't expect his tail to be rubber. Yeah, this is really nice. I think the articulation is not that good, but it is still better than those plastic that you can see the joints. Yep, this is really nice. Wow. Okay, let's move on to the articulation. I'll start with the head as always. So you can look to the right, look to the left, looking up. Yep, pretty much. Looking down. Yep, even better. His hand can turn 360 degrees, moving upwards more than 90 degrees. There's an arm swivels, a double joint elbow. His hand can turn, moving up and down. 2 points of articulation on the torso. He can swivels around the torso, and for this portion here, it can actually allows him to bend forward. Wow, pretty much there. And bending backwards, not too much because of the lap jacket did a little bit of hindering. And unfortunately, there is no turning on his waist. He can kick up, yep, slightly less than 90 degrees. Kicking back, not so much. A tight swivels, a double joint knee. And there's another swivels on his leg as well. His foot can move up and down, swivels left to right, and there's no toe hinge for the foot. Let's see how well this lizard can do a split. Wow, almost a perfect split here. And as for his tail, like I mentioned, it does have a bendy wire. Unfortunately, this bendy wire isn't as strong, or maybe I would say is that the material that they use on the tail is a little bit too thick, which actually disallows the bendy wire to perform. You can see that it doesn't really bend as well. Yep. Now let's move on to the accessory. I will start with the hands as always. So he just comes with a pair of relaxed hands or open palms hands, and also a right hands of closed fist hand and a left hands of grabbing hands to grab onto those test tubes that he comes with. And yes, you can see he just comes with these two very beautiful test tubes. Wow, this is really nice, and it feels very thick as well, not something flimsy. Yeah, this is really nice. And lastly, he just comes with this very beautiful alternate head of lizard, which this time it looks very serious, and I just love the open mouth with the tongue coming out. Yeah, this is really awesome. And by comparing these two heads, you can see that this one really just looks like he's surprised, while the one on my right is looking very sinister. Now next, I will show you how to put on some of the accessory onto him. Okay, so he just comes in an alternate head. I'll change the head now and just pop it back in, as simple as that. And wow, this does looks very beautiful. My goodness, this is nice. And to interchange the hand, just pop it out like this and just pop it back in. With this hand, you can let him hold on to those test tube. Yep, the finger is pretty soft, so you can open it up just like this. And I kind of like the red better. If you enjoyed this video, do click on the likes button. Thank you. Now for the size comparison, I'd like to start off with some Marvel Legends. I have this amazing fantasy Spider-Man, as well as this Spider-Man Noir. And still on the Marvel Legends, I'd like to compare with this Tom Holland Peter Parker, as well as Ned. And next, I'd like to move on to some SH Figuarts. I have this again, Tom Holland Spider-Man from Far From Home, as well as this black and gold Spider-Man, which looks very small as compared to him. And let's move on to some Mayfax. I have this Tom Holland Homecoming Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man, the comic versions. Yep, this looks very good next to him. And next, let's compare with some villains from Sinister 6. Of course, they are from Marvel Legends. I have this Retro Electro and also Sandman. Wow, I think he does looks pretty tiny as compared to them. And lastly, I'd like to compare with the Rhino. Okay, wow, I think this lizard is slightly too small for his size. Yeah, I can see how tiny he is compared to this Rhino. Now let's talk about his skill, and from the comparison just now, I noticed that he is slightly small as compared to this Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man. I mean, Spider-Man should be at least only reaching to his shoulder. Maybe he should be slightly like this, taller. Yeah, but this lizard, somehow I felt that he's slightly shorter or smaller as compared to the rest, even to the Sinister 6. So I like to do some measuring for this guy here, and from the top of his head is around 16.5 centimeter. so it's not too bad. Somehow I still feel that he should be taller a little bit, maybe something like the BAF Lizard, yeah, which is huge. And from all the pictures I've seen so far, Lizard is pretty tall as compared to the rest. And next I'd like to talk about the price. If I'm not wrong, this Lizard is something like a Walmart exclusive or some kind of exclusive from Marvel Legends. So I thought the price will be slightly more expensive as compared to the rest. But to my surprise, he is exactly the same price as them, or maybe just slightly more expensive, just tiny bit, maybe a few dollars if I'm not wrong. Yup, so he is cheap as compared to some other exclusive. This is rather surprising. So I would say that the price is very well worth and affordable. For those of you who actually doesn't have any Lizard, this is a really good price for him. Okay, so my final verdict for this Lizard based on all the star ratings so far is going to be an 8.5 out of 10. Yes, aesthetically I think it looks good, articulation is great, and the accessory is somehow lacking in terms of the hands, because I was hoping they could give a pair of closed fist hands as well as a pair of these grabbing hands so he can grab two of the test tube together. But nevertheless, they did give two interchangeable heads, which is a bonus. And I also rather surprised they are actually giving this rubbery tail something like a change. My only gripe for this figure is that he looks slightly smaller or shorter as compared to the rest, which is quite a bummer because Lizard is supposed to be pretty huge. So yes, I do recommend this Lizard to be added to any of your Spider-Man collections. I believe you will mix a good additions to it. So I hope you enjoy my review, and most importantly is you find it entertaining, and it also helps you to decide whether you should grab this retro Lizard. And I'll catch you again in my next video. And I hope you'll watch this video over here right now. Cheers!